I'm about to go to my barber. I've been knowing him for a long time. He been cutting my hair for a long time. So I'm on my way to go get a haircut, but I started thinking about something. I was thinking about how the process of us being developed and created in God's image, and the process of God giving us, free will, and just the process of Him creating us to be unique beings. It made me think about some stuff, and I started thinking about how there's a difference between man-made laws and the universal laws. And it made me think about the way everything is set up as far as the system that's designed that we're living under, as far as the way human beings think and the way we react to certain things and what's going on, and just around us, period. A lot of the stuff that we seeing and a lot of reactions is coming out in the form of negativity. When you turn on the TV, it's negative. Everything you hear on the radio is negative. But a lot of this stuff is stemming from being subjugated under these man-made laws. Now, I'm not for one bit telling people they should break the law. I would never say that. We got to follow the laws of the land. But what I am saying is that people need to tap in more into their universal laws. That way, it won't be no question about your integrity. It won't be no question about, your righteous, ways as far as you carry yourself. You won't have to question if the way you live is wrong, or you won't have to question if the way you respond to people is not lined up and in tune with God Himself. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like the universal laws is really what we need to be attracting ourselves to more than anything, because if we stay in tune with the universal laws, mind, body, soul, we're going to be more connected in a spiritual sense, because our minds are not polluted with the worldly ways that have been poured upon us. We won't be so entrapped by this worldly thinking that has been poured upon us and our children and our loved ones, and through the systematic way of beliefs. If we believe in the way that God intended for us to believe, then we'll be that much more connected to ourselves and to our higher power. We'll be connected more to the energies of the universe, to the planets, and the things that's elevated in that nature. Man-made laws have always been set in place to somewhat control the way we think of ourselves, the way we move. We're not using our own thinking a lot of the times. We think in the way the system wants us to think. And as long as we're doing that, it's not allowing us to tap into our spiritual bodies. It's not allowing us to tap into that connection that we have with our higher power the way we're supposed to. Because there's that gray area of pollution from the negative things that the world has placed in us, all the negativity that's been thrown upon us. And we turn around and we throw that upon our family members, loved ones, friends, children, and everybody, because we have disconnected from the things that we really supposed to be connected to. It's a big difference between the universal laws and the man-made laws. We got to follow those universal laws so we can stay in tune with ourselves, so we can stay in tune with who we really are. And the minute we steer away from that, we fall under these other falsified beliefs and falsified religions, falsified thought patterns, and it eventually takes us far away from who we really are and who we're truly meant to be. It takes us away from tapping into our gifts. It takes us away from tapping into the things that God intended for us to be doing on this planet. A lot of who we are is connected to the stars. A lot of who we are is connected to the planets. A lot of who we are is connected to the atmosphere that gives off energy, that gives off light, that gives off electricity. But we ain't tapping in. We're not tapping in. And our youth, the younger youth right now, the way they living their lives reckless and killing each other over nothingness, over vapors, they not tapped in. Parents out here raising their kids the wrong way, they not tapped in. All this negative energy that we receiving from the world around us, and some of the negativity that we giving off, the negative energy we giving off, because we caught up in that same atmosphere, we caught up in that same sphere of things. So it's taking us away from the type of energy that we're supposed to be giving off. Got to stay connected to the universal laws, because those are the laws that God intended for us to stay connected to. These man-made laws, it clouds our minds to the point where when we follow these laws, we forget that we have it within ourselves, that discipline within ourselves to make rulership on our own as well. We don't have to always rely on the court system to think for us. We don't have to always rely on these different structures that's set up by man to show us what direction we should go. We have to think on our own with our own positive thinking. We have to think on our own with our own thoughts and figure out what's right or what's wrong. We know what's right and what's wrong, so it shouldn't be a man on this planet that tell us how to think or which way to structure things when we can structure those things by ourselves. It's just those common things that we have to get back to. We can't fall out of it. Don't let these man-made laws take you from your spirituality. Don't let these man-made laws continue to disconnect you from your higher sources when it comes to your spirituality. Just because these man-made laws are placed here in front of you. Don't break the law. I'm not telling nobody to do that, but at the same time, just remember that laws are also broken at times, even by the ones who place the laws in place. But universal laws They can't be broken. We can steer away from them, but those universal laws are going to stay in place. Those universal laws are not going to become unstable no matter how unstable we become. They're going to always be there. And there's no way that not a man on this planet can take those universal laws and shake them up from the position that they're placed in, because they were placed in by a higher power, by something more than what we are. So as long as you follow those guidelines and tap into that, your structure will always be stable. You'll always be on solid ground. I just wanted to say that so people can see and know the difference. Man-made laws can be broken. Universal laws will always be the same. They'll always keep you in a position in your life where you won't fall out of who you really are. Tap into that.